For as long as war has existed in the galaxy, it has followed a set of unspoken rules. Empires wage battles over resources, territory, and power, but there has always been an understanding, a rhythm to conquest, a logic to strategy, a sense of balance to destruction. Every species fights, but they fight with purpose. They fight to establish order. They fight to maintain control. War is precise. War is honorable. War is a tool, not an obsession. Then, the galaxy discovered humanity. At first, humans appeared unremarkable. Their planet, Earth, was beautiful but unassuming, a blue and green world teeming with diverse life. Their civilization was young, their technology primitive compared to the great empires of the stars. They had only just begun to take their first steps into space, sending probes and fragile vessels beyond their atmosphere. Their world was fractured, divided into nations that constantly struggled against each other. To an outsider, they seemed chaotic, inefficient, self-destructive. They were constantly at war with themselves. This, the galaxy believed, was a weakness. They were wrong. Humanity did not merely fight wars. They evolved through them. Where other species sought to avoid conflict, humans embraced it. Every war in their history had shaped them, forged them into something stronger. They did not view battle as an occasional necessity, but as a constant force of change. Each defeat was a lesson. Each victory was an experiment. They did not simply conquer, they adapted. For the rest of the galaxy, war was about dominance. For humans, war was about survival. They had been fighting for their existence since the beginning. They had faced predators that outmatched them in strength, speed, and ferocity. Yet, through cunning and cooperation, they became the apex species of their world. When they turned their aggression upon each other, they did not destroy themselves. They refined their methods. Each war introduced new strategies, new technologies, new horrors. Where most civilizations fought only when necessary, humanity fought even when they did not need to. They fought for land, for ideas, for vengeance, for honor. They fought to test themselves. They fought for sport. The Zarkani Dominion was the first to challenge them. It was a decision they would regret for eternity. The Zarkani were an old and powerful empire, their military unmatched, their fleet spanning across multiple star systems. They had subjugated dozens of worlds with ease. When their scouts first observed Earth, they saw a species divided and distracted, too busy fighting itself to pose any real threat. Their leaders saw an opportunity: conquer humanity before they could become a problem. They launched an invasion, expecting a swift and decisive victory. But humans did not fight like other species. They did not surrender when faced with overwhelming force. They did not adhere to the traditional rules of warfare. When the Zarkani landed on Earth, they encountered resistance unlike anything they had seen before. Humanity was not a single empire with one strategy, one doctrine, one way of fighting. It was a fractured species with thousands of ways to wage war. Each nation, each faction, each individual had their own unique methods of battle. Some fought with overwhelming force, others with stealth and subterfuge. Some relied on technology, others on sheer endurance. The Zarkani could not predict them, could not control them, could not defeat them. The war dragged on. The Zarkani had expected to win in days. Instead, they found themselves in a conflict that lasted years. Humanity adapted at an alarming rate. They scavenged enemy weapons, reverse-engineered enemy technology, and learned enemy tactics faster than any species before them. The Zarkani won battles, but each victory became harder than the last. Every time they believed they had gained the upper hand, humanity responded with something new, something unexpected, something terrifying. It was not just their technology or strategy that made them dangerous. It was their sheer refusal to submit. The Zarkani had fought many wars before, but never against an enemy that enjoyed the battle. Humans did not fear war. They thrived in it. Even when they lost, they fought on. They fought with desperation, with rage, with ingenuity. They turned every city into a fortress, every ruin into a trap. They weaponized their own suffering. They did not just resist invasion, they turned it into an opportunity to learn. And then, something even more terrifying happened. They began to win. The Zarkani retreated. What had once been an unstoppable war machine now fled in fear. The mighty empire that had conquered worlds with ease had met an enemy they could not control. It was not because humanity had superior weapons, greater numbers, or advanced tactics. It was because humanity refused to be defeated. The Zarkani were not fighting an army. They were fighting an entire species, each individual as dangerous as the last. The fall of the Zarkani Dominion sent shockwaves through the galaxy. Other empires, once certain of their own superiority, began to reconsider. If humanity could defeat the mighty Zarkani, what else were they capable of? The answer was even more terrifying than they had imagined. For all of human history, they had been fighting themselves. Every war, every conflict, every struggle had been against their own kind. They had never faced a true external threat. They had never fought a war for survival against an outside force. The war with the Zarkani was the first, and it had accelerated them. In a few short years, their military technology had advanced at a rate no species had ever witnessed. Their understanding of warfare had evolved beyond anything the galaxy had prepared for. The galaxy began to whisper in fear. What if humanity had never truly been at war? What if, for their entire history, they had only been practicing? What if every battle, every conquest, every conflict had merely been a test to prepare for something greater? What happens when they stop fighting each other and turn their full attention outward? A secret council was formed. Some believed humanity must be eradicated before it was too late, but others argued against it. If the galaxy united against humanity and failed, they would only make them stronger. A failed attempt to destroy them would not end in defeat, it would end in a new war, one that the galaxy would not survive. For now, humanity remains divided. Their wars are still internal. Their gaze is still turned inward. But the day will come when they unite. The day will come when they look beyond their own planet and seek something more. And when that day arrives, the galaxy will change forever. Humanity does not fight for power. They do not fight for conquest. They fight because it is what they are. Because it is in their nature. Because it is what they have always done. The question is not whether they will become the most dominant force in the galaxy. The question is when.